Categories in Comrogen are used to group items of similar characteristics, specifications, or attributes, and are primarily used on the front end to allow customers to find products that match their requirements. Categories in Comrogen utilize various modern user interfaces and techniques such as filtering, also known as faceted search, and also incorporate design elements such as having multiple views, the ability to sort items, and change page sizes to display the required number of products. To manage categories, expand the Category Management submenu and click on the Category Catalog option. Here you will see categories that you have set up on your website. Categories can be rearranged or set up to be subcategories of other categories using the directional grid on the left. You can reorganize your category hierarchy this way, or set items to become childs. Similar to the product group and product grids, you have options to sort your available categories using options to see if they're enabled or if they're deleted. There are also performance options very similar to the product and product group pages where items inside the category may be cached to improve performance. Each performance setting is based on the display provider and can be tuned as needed. Normally, we recommend a 24-hour or one-day cache. You can choose specific items to cache. If you have categories that require live updates, or if you are changing your products on a routine basis, in that situation, we recommend leaving the cache turned off for that category or display provider. Comrogen uses a dynamic category system whereby items are normally not mapped to categories. Instead, the system finds products that meet category criteria. For example, on our demo site, in the chairs category, we have created a rule that finds items where the value of the category attribute equals chairs. What this does is find all items where the attribute value of the name category is chairs and automatically maps them in real time to a category called chairs. Using the attributes, you can find other attributes and set values for those attributes as needed. An example of an attribute class can be a situation where you may have category equals chairs and also add another rule where price is greater than $10. Now, if we were to add this rule, it would update the category criteria to find items in the category, but also where the price is greater than 10. Once this change has been added, we are now required to save and rebuild this category. What this will do is find new items or anything that's been changed, examine them, and if their criteria matches these requirements, it will automatically be added to this category. By using these dynamic categories, you are able to set up your store so that it is automatically going to assign products to the category that you would like to have. However, this process does require you to periodically rebuild your categories. wherein the search and find operations of Comrogen come into play and automatically map them. To make this easier, we have included a rebuild categories menu where you can select the categories you'd like to have rebuilt, or you can have them scheduled to rebuild automatically, such as 2 a.m. at every night. And doing that, the system will always update itself and it'll make sure it is aware of any new products that have been added to your website. In the general options of the category, you have options for meta title, name, keywords, and descriptions, which are commonly used for site search optimization, as well as the option to add or remove media. The Products tab shows you all items that match the criteria that was set forth when the category was created. And again, as the dynamic categories work, you don't have to map items to the category. Any item that meets the criteria set forth for the category will automatically be displayed here. One of the more powerful features of Comrogen is its attribute or faceted search system. While working with filters, you're able to go into the Category Filters option tab and decide which filters will appear on that category. This decides which filtering options are shown to the customer. Comrogen allows you to even fine-tune if you'd like to hide certain values. You can choose between radio buttons and checkbox lists as well. You can decide if you want to show the product count, or if you'd like to hide the filter, you can click the visible option and enable or disable it as needed. In certain situations, you may want to hide certain values of a filter. So clicking the Edit Value option will allow you to hide certain values. Once this is done or changed, you will see that that corresponding option will no longer appear if you wish to hide it. You can also organize the items in here using the Display Index option within the Edit Value attribute submenu. Similarly to products and product groups, Comrogen supports various display providers for Comrogen. Each display provider may have their own display provider settings. Common settings that you will find in many category display providers are options for sorting, if filters should be displayed or not, options for multiple views, as well as page size or view all options. Depending on what requirements you have for your display provider, these will change as needed. Categories in Comrogen also support plugin and extensions, as well as performance settings. By default, many categories will use the default settings that are set up at the main category catalog page. However, each individual category may override its settings so that it is able to tune it based on your requirements. Generally, this is only needed in cases if you have a category that requires constant updates throughout the day. For those situations, you may want to turn cache off so that it is able to get the most recent live data to render in the display.